Hello everybody, and welcome to a game called Tiny Bunny. And today, we're going to be playing this game. No, we're not going to be staring at this title screen, even though it is pretty dope looking. So this is a horror game, and I don't know much about it. I do know that I think it was like supposed to be a book or something. I don't know. It's like in a book type of style, you know? I think it's like a reading thing. It's pretty dope though. So let's play a brand new game. Let's get right into it. Right into it. Okay. Let's see what's going on. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song, weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing and arguing about something. Someone was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own. The creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days, and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whistling, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there's nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still. Oh, there's fox thing. Did not notice that. Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look at how slouched you are. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Alia had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. Commercials? Commercials? What the heck are those? You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Castue Odyssey. I love that show. I wondered how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is, or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell on my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. What did I just say? I'll get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Karina. Huh, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? Nah, she's been in a bit of bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age, sitting underneath this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Were the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? I imagined my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting on the edge of her bed, where Olya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, yelled, never swore. Those were the times, without the maddening screams until late at night, without the smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead, but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olya was done with her cookies, and she was looking at my share of sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Olya, look, it's a fox. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of students' notebooks. I make sure of lines at the first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look under a certain angle. No, outside on the window. Look, here's the nose, and here's... Hey, eat up. Yes, just a moment. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Ah, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you, it does. Nuh-uh. It does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretch out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. It's a pretty nice beard, not gonna lie. Mom would always ask, jokingly, "Come on, shave it off, it stings." That was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and woody comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olya always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all of this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply, "for the sake of our family." I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreadful, the deadliest word that started with a D. D-I-V-O. I don't even want to finish it. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken in two different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your owl talk again. You said you believed me yesterday. Have anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still. Karina, please, stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket near the phone. Anton, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already. I don't know what that word is. And the owl. There was no owl. But there was one. It had a giant glowing eyes. Leia sprung up from the chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers, the size of an apple each. Last year you had... I don't know what the heck that is, but I saw it. Alia shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully her, girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Alia pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing the keys he just found. A minute had passed and the theme song for The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on Incredible Worn, our cassette tape, which Dad had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects, but gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? You can't. Well, you can. It's hard. Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Alia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved into this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump up in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off of the troubles we had with the move in our parents. And then Alia said she saw that giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power. They tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Alia refused to sleep alone, and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Just last night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep. Ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. There are a couple days left before the beginning of the new term. My imagination drew long, twisted hallways that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gapped in the middle of their faces and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was if some completely different creature was looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares filled with icy sneers, shivering from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me, beat me down, stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? That's kind of dark, kid. Those schools can burn for all I care. I just wish for anything to happen to it. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. Ooh, this kid. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Alia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. The small circles of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings. and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying it was in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or, "Anton is not around. Anton is not around." I imagined my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their window. Maybe my new classmates will like me after all. But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. The house creaked, pressed by the wind. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easy. Going during the day, its shadows lay dormant in the corners, in the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs, but they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaky, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied with noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized, in fact, hearing music, it was already playing for a good while. Somewhere on the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed in with the sounds of the wind, of the creaking old house, and my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It was not like someone was playing it there, amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh gosh. Something was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped in piles of snow, rolled around, crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands, and whipped up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment, then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the stairless abyss. I gotta go, actually. Yeah, I'll continue this, okay? But I have to end this video here because this looks like it's gonna take longer. So, see you all later on the next thing. Goodbye.